G'day headbangers and welcome to Dozel's Metalworks. G'day headbangers and welcome back to another week of Dozel's Metalworks. Well, this week I've got a nice countdown this week because we're going back all the way to 1984. So let's get started. Straight off the bat, we have Project in the Jungle. Now, a lot of people are going, what's that? Well, it's actually the second album from Pantera. Now, a lot of people think that they're going, well, hang on a second, the second album's Vulgar Display of Power. Actually, it's not. Cowboys from Hell wasn't even their first album. They had another 3 or 4 albums before that. It's just hard to find them because you can't get them on CD unless you really got to go into the depths of eBay to find it. So, Project in the Jungle, second album from them. Good album. I don't think Phil was singing for them at that stage. The whole album is pretty good, but as I've only heard it a few times, haven't really got a standout track, but it's pretty good. Classic 80s metal almost, so yeah. So number 9, Metal Church, and their debut album, Metal Church. Good album. Haven't listened to it that much to, got any standout tracks, but yeah, that's number 9. So number 8, we have Vices by Kickaxe. Now my mate Kurt, shout out to Kurt, got me into these guys. This album, Vices, is really good classic, I suppose, hair metal, cock rock, whatever you want to call it. 2 standout tracks for me is Heavy Metal Shuffle and the track that got me into them called On the Road to Rock. So if you get a chance to listen to those guys, get into them. Okay, number 7. Now most people would know these guys. Twisted Sister and their album Stay Hungry. Now this is obviously the stuff that had real big tracks on this album. The title track, Stay Hungry, I Want to Rock, and of course their most well-known one is When I'm Gonna Take It. Both the clips for When I'm Gonna Take It and I Want to Rock, both classic film clips, absolutely hilarious. And yeah, so that's number 7. So number 6, here's a classic one, 1984 by Van Halen. This was the last album featuring David Lee Roth on vocals before they gave him the arse. But most of you would know the tracks on this one. Number 3 for me was Hot for Teacher. Number 2, Panama. And of course number 1, quite possibly one of their most well-known track, is Jump. So yeah. So number 5, we have Rising Force by Yngwie Malmsteen. Now this one, I don't know who his lineup was for this, because like I said before, he changes his lineup every album. And it was his debut album. Top 3 tracks for me were Far Beyond the Sun, As Above So Below, and Now Your Ships Are Burned. Now that was the start of Yngwie Malmsteen's solo career. That was a pretty good album, so it's a good start for him. Okay, number 4, The Last in Line by Dio. Huh, what a great man. What great loss to the metal world when he went. So the whole album's pretty good, The Last in Line. For me, track number 3 is Egypt, The Chains Are On. Number 2 is We Rock. And obviously the title track, Last in Line, is definitely the best one on that album. Now, number 3, one of my favourites, Defenders of the Faith by Judas Priest. Whole album is absolute fantastic. Honourable mention on this one though is Love Bites. Third favourite track is Some Hits Are Gonna Roll. Second favourite is Eat Me Alive. Apparently I think I heard that caused controversy at some stage, but who cares. But number 1, of course, Free Wheel Burning. Number 2, kind of had to put this at number 2 because nothing can beat number 1. got the appropriate shirt, Ride the Lightning by Metallica. Now this is my second favourite album by Metallica. Definitely my favourite cover, and the French screwed it up. So if someone out there has a green Ride the Lightning cover, it's actually worth quite a lot of money, because that's how the French did a boo-boo with that one. But number 3 for me was Fade to Black. Number 2 is Creeping Death. And number 1, the title track, Ride the Lightning. But I said again, this whole album is pretty good. Even Escape and Trapped Under Ice to me are good songs. And of course you got the 8+ minute Call of Cthulhu. So yeah, anyway. Now number 1, well, I think this here says it all. Number 1 is Power Slave by Iron Maiden. Now, this album is probably my 3rd favourite Iron Maiden album. And the whole album is fantastic. The B-side tracks on the singers were great. But my 3rd favourite song is 2 Minutes to Midnight. Second favourite is Roaming the Ancient Mariner. At that time, that was their longest song, and it was for many years, clocking in at over 13.5 minutes. But my favourite song from the album, and my all-time favourite Iron Maiden song, Aces High. So yeah, of course, Maiden had to be number 1. Anyway, one thing before I wrap up this week's, some of you may or may not have seen the news that one of my favourite actors over the past 20 to 30 years, probably 40 years, Carl Weathers, passed away. Now, for you who don't know who he is, he played Apollo Creed in the first 4 Rocky movies. He was in The Mandalorian. He was in Happy Gilmore. And his action movie where he was the main star, called Action Jackson. So, you will be missed. You were a great actor, so rest in peace, Carl Weathers. And on that note, until next time, mosh on.